Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nastazsa. If you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram if you haven't already. I will have that linked down below. For today's video, we are just going to be talking about how you can decorate for free. Shockingly enough, all of these tips are things that I do quite frequently, and I'm giving you guys some of like my top secret tips. So I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you do, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what some other videos you guys would like to see on this channel are, and without further ado, we can just jump right into it. First thing that I'm sharing with you guys is how I'm able to get free furniture and free home decor. Believe it or not, we're actually in a time where a lot of people are giving stuff away for free, especially big furniture items and a lot of decor pieces. If you guys weren't aware, on Facebook, they actually have an area on there called Facebook Marketplace. And there's actually an entire section where you can go on there and find free furniture. And what it is a lot of people are currently in the market to redecorate. We've been spending a ton of time at home. So a lot of people will put stuff on there that is just too heavy to go ahead and donate, or they would really rather see it go to a home of someone who's going to use it and just be able to give it away for free. So you can find a ton of awesome stuff on there. You can find stuff from IKEA, you can find stuff from Crate and Barrel, you can find stuff from West Elm, or you can find some really awesome like vintage pieces. I'm gonna share with you guys some of the pieces that I have within my home that were completely free. I'm gonna start off with the first one because it actually is not from Facebook Marketplace, but my friend found this free on the side of the road and gave it to me, and it's actually this travertine piece. And when I first got it, I was unsure of what it was, and then I finally realized that I think this was the base of a travertine coffee table, and the coffee tabletop might have broke, so they just dumped the actual travertine piece. But this actual base piece I have seen for sale for $700. I've seen it for sale for $500, and then last night I actually found someone trying to sell it for $1,200. So super crazy that someone was just getting rid of that and they literally put it on the street. So you can also find stuff by like randomly driving around, especially certain neighborhoods are known for that, where people will literally just put like stuff outside that's really good for the trash. But specifically on Facebook Marketplace, some things that you can find or some pieces that I have within my home are these beautiful vintage IKEA mirrors. These are an IKEA piece that was actually discontinued from IKEA, so you can no longer get them, but they're the wavy mirrors. They're very like 70s vibes. I think they're super cool. So there were two of these available. All I had to do was put some backing on them to be able to adhere them to the wall, which I'm sure even when you bought them from IKEA, they probably didn't come with this, but all they needed was just like a really nice cleaning. And so I have those on my little wall within my hallway. The next thing I'm gonna share, I actually gave to my mom, but this thing was beautiful. This is a brass antique coffee table. So I ended up giving it to her because it's more like her style. She wants a very like modern glam living room. So if you guys wanna see that makeover, I wasn't planning on putting it on the channel just because it's not really my decor style, but if it's something you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments down below. But I ended up giving that to her. It's so heavy, so sturdy. It could probably use like a nice like polish to the brass, but I kind of like that it looks very vintage and has like some character to it, so it didn't really bother me. So I just went ahead and like sanitized the whole thing, but that one's beautiful and it's a really large piece, which is like crazy to be able to find for free. The next items that I got for free are actually these pieces from CB2. I'll insert the photo of them when they were available on CB2. Again, another item that was discontinued, but I guess someone just wanted to get rid of these. A couple of the edges are a little bent, but I think that with a hairdryer, I can go ahead and heat them up and bend them back to being straight. If not, I could go ahead and just remove them altogether. I don't plan on keeping them gold. I think I'm gonna spray paint them like a hammered silver, and then I'm gonna put them in my bathroom. But again, really great pieces of art for $0. Next thing that I love doing is decorating with branches from outside. Even though this is free, like some of these are so beautiful, like some of the things I find outside, I totally would have paid for them if I saw them in the store. So it doesn't look cheap at all. It looks perfect. I prefer to bring in the pieces and then I let them completely dry out. But if you want them to last a little bit longer and you don't want the look of them looking dry, just add a little bit of water and kind of have them in water. But you can literally go outside, clip off any trees. You can also find pampas grass outside, different things that are very popular to decorate great with. You can actually just find them right outside your door. You can kind of do a little bit of research and kind of go hunting around. But what I just showed you actually was just right in the backyard of my home. I literally snipped those off the tree and dried them out, and they look so good. That's literally one of my favorite pieces that I have, and it was completely free. Next tip is just to repurpose things that are in your home. You can give something new life just very easily, even with a can of spray paint. For me, I'm a little sick of my IKEA nightstands. I think that I should have got them in white, but I waited too long. I ended up getting them in black, and they just really aren't working out for my style right now. But I know that if I just add a nice coat of spray paint to them or go ahead and paint them, that it will give new life to them and they'll look completely different. So that is a really affordable way to really redecorate and reuse, and then also you're not wasting that item. So that is something fun that you can do. I also have a ton of thrift flip videos on this channel that you might be able to draw some inspiration from. So I'll try and link some of those down below, but we have a ton of awesome DIY projects you can find on this channel. But more recently, I was thinking about actually just hunting in my closet. I'm at that point now where I feel like a lot of my clothes I want to kind of get rid of, but I was like, why don't I try and turn some of those into decor? So you can actually take old clothing pieces and turn them into something new. I just thought this one in particular would make such a pretty decorative pillow for fall coming up. That's originally what drew me to this, was actually the pattern and the textures in this. It's an old flannel. I did actually get this at Salvation Army for 50 cents. So super affordable if you don't have anything lying around and you do want to spend a little money, but you want to stay in a really tight budget. You can always go and look there. But this would make such a pretty pillow. Okay, this next tip is basically sharing with you guys how I pretty much have not spent any money on furniture or decor. I think it's been over a year. So this isn't gonna work for everyone, and it's not gonna be everyone's taste, but if you have something in your home that you're just not getting good use out of and you really want to get something new, you can always sell it. And it's gotten a lot safer to do this. I know in the past years, a couple years back, I would use Craigslist and it was not safe at all. I had a couple of weird interactions, but now the technology on a lot of these marketplaces has elevated a lot, and most of them require your driver's license and stuff to be able to buy and sell on there. So it is super safe. Obviously, if you are gonna go ahead and sell something or buy something, I definitely don't recommend doing it by yourself. Have someone with you, but like I said, a lot of these places where you can sell your furniture have a rating system now. So I tend to obviously be super safe on there, and you want to check out and make sure everything looks good on their profile. They have good feedback and everything, and then just keep the messaging within that marketplace, and things tend to be really safe. I've been doing this for quite some time. I've even met some subscribers doing this because some of you guys have actually bought stuff from me. So that has been super fun and cool. I end up, switching things out quite frequently, so it's good to be able to get some money back, especially because some pieces I end up spending a lot of money on. I change my mind, and you're able to get a decent amount of money back. Also, IKEA items are super hot right now because IKEA is having trouble stocking them. So you can actually sell your IKEA stuff for pretty much the same price that you bought it for, even when it's used. I kind of have a rule for myself now that if I want something new or I want to replace a piece, obviously if I spent a little bit more money on it, I need to resell it, take that money and use that to get a new item. So I actually really haven't spent any money outside of buying and selling on there, and it's a really great way to save extra money. Also, if you want to just get some extra cash and you have a ton of extra stuff, you can go ahead and sell it on there. The next tip is something that I do absolutely all the time, and that is just switching things between rooms. This can make a huge difference, and you're just basically changing what you're looking at, which will just make you feel a lot better, and it will make you feel like you redecorated, or even make you feel like you got something new, but you really didn't. This is a great way to save money too, because I do this all the time. Sometimes when I'm just itching for something new, I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna spend any money. I'm just going to rearrange. For example, my IKEA mirror has pretty much lived in every single room besides the bathroom. Sometimes I'll have it in my bedroom, sometimes I'll have it in the living room, sometimes it'll be a part of my entryway, and it's just a really great way to switch up your space without spending any money. The next tip I have is to get creative with your wall art. You can probably find something lying around within your home that you can use as wall art. All you'll need is a frame. Unfortunately, I recently did a huge huge giveaway of a lot of my home decor. I gave it away. So I used a lot of the nicer shopping bags that I had saved to kind of put that decor in to give it away. But I did still have this one, for example. So all those shopping bags, a great place, or a few great places that I would recommend getting shopping bags from that make really great wall art are Aritzia. They have awesome wall art. And then Anthropologie, when they give you the bags, they're so cool. And sometimes Free People gives you those cloth ones. Those can be turned into really cool wall art. So I had this one. It's very minimal, but all you would have to do is like cut the top off and put this in a frame. And that's all you have to do. It's literally free wall art. I think that's a great thing to start doing because wall art can get super expensive. And if you're like me, sometimes I get sick of looking at the same wall art on the wall, so it's not always good to spend a lot of money on it. Plus, this is just a fun way to save money. You can also ask your friends if they have any extra like shopping bags that they would be willing to give away. It's cool to like kind of frame designer bags. I know a lot of people have bags like this that we just have in our home, but we're not really actually using. So those are really cool to just, like I said, throw in a frame, takes 2 seconds, you are done, and you have some new wall art. If you don't have any of those bags lying around, obviously magazine clippings will do the trick. They have a lot of really aesthetic and trendy looking photos in magazines, and you can just kind of like cut off any of the text that you didn't want on there. Also, if you guys have any like clips and string lying around, it's really cool to kind of clip the magazine clipping and literally tie a string on it. You can attach it to the wall and it just looks super cool. I'll insert a photo here of a DIY that I did that I had on my wall with just like magazines hanging, and it looked so good. The next tip is just to declutter your space. I talk about this quite frequently because it can make a big difference. You'll just feel better and you're not spending any money to do so. So I would challenge everyone, if you guys have a Netflix account, to watch the minimalism documentary on Netflix. Like, don't even listen to my tip on decluttering, go watch theirs. After I watched that documentary, it changed everything about my shopping habits, about what I spend money on, and it really helps me declutter. So I would highly recommend watching that if you have the option to watch things on Netflix. 10 out of 10 would recommend. After I watched that, I learned a ton of really awesome tips, and I did take a lot away from it. And one thing that they challenge you to do is to give something away each day for 30 days. And they basically talk about the fact that we end up accumulating a lot more stuff than we actually think that we have. And we actually think, by watching this, you're probably like, I don't think I even own enough things to give one item away for 30 days. Trust me, you do. And you will get rid of so much stuff that you don't need, but also this will visually improve your apartment or home. When everything is not as cluttered, it just tends to look better. You will feel better. So I challenge you to do that. It doesn't all have to be home decor furniture. Obviously, we're not gonna give away 30 furniture pieces. I don't even own 30 furniture pieces, but just anything, an old notebook that you're not using. And don't just throw it away, try and find a good home for it. Try and find someone that you can give it away to. Don't be wasteful, but I definitely think that's a good tip. So decluttering is something that will really transform your space if you haven't done so already. Like I said, watch that documentary. It'll help you declutter so much. And once your place is decluttered, it's gonna look like a whole new space. The next thing that I love doing is recycling old jars or bottles and turning them into decor or centerpieces. I recently mentioned that you can reuse old candles in one of my last videos, and a lot of you guys were like, wait, how do you do that? And I showed this like years ago, but basically, for example, let's take this candle. I actually own a set of glasses, like drinkware glasses, that looks exactly like this candle. So once I'm done burning it, of course, you always get that little bit of excess within the candle, but you can actually put this within the freezer, and you want to let it sit in the freezer for like an hour or two, and then the wax at the bottom is going to get super hard, but you can actually just like use a butter knife and it will pop right out. And then obviously you want to make sure that you clean this well and properly. But once you're done, you can totally go ahead and reuse this as a drinking glass. This can even be like a cute little vase. So that is just something that I like to do. I don't like to be wasteful with these little jars. You can always find something to do with them, especially, like I said, this one literally matches my glassware set that I already have. So I will just add that as an additional one when I'm done. Another thing you can do is use like wine or alcohol bottles. You can ask a friend if you don't have any. This one in particular was sent over to me by the company, and when I just really wanted it for the aesthetic of the bottle. Like, this is totally my style, right? Like, this if it was like a decor piece, we all know that I would spend like a ton of money on this just because it's my vibe. So you can find really cool things like this, pop off the top, put in some flowers, and this would be like such a cute decor piece to have. Wine glasses work really well with that too. You can also take these labels off quite easily. You just soak them in hot water and then they kind of completely will peel off, especially if they're paper, they come right off. So those are things that you can do to decorate completely for free. The next tip is that you can propagate plants. So this is a great way to get some more plants if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend any money. If you already have plants in your home, you can look up tutorials online on how to propagate them. You can either put them in water or soil, and eventually, if you do them right, they will grow another plant, which is super awesome. And if you don't own any plants yourself, you can probably find a friend or family member that does and ask them if you can kindly borrow a little snip of their plant to propagate it. Again, this is a super affordable way to make your plants grow. I recently picked up a ton of house plants, which I'm so excited about, and I will be propagating some of them because I want a ton of plants, and what better way to make new plants than to propagate them for absolutely free. All right, and then the last tip that I have is to find local giveaway programs. This is something that you may not know about just because you haven't looked for it, but most communities and cities and different areas have some form of local giveaway program. So mine in particular that I know about is at the local library. So once a month at the local library, you're actually able to come and shop a selection of books for free. They actually have DVDs and movies as well as records that are available to you for completely free, just because they are trying to filter out and make room for new books. This is a great place to find coffee table books for free. You can find books that you might want to read, or you just want them to serve as decor. But there are several other local programs where they have actual stuff for free, different churches and whatnot. So just hop online and search locally for that, and you can find some really awesome places to get some things for your home. So that's everything I wanted to share with you guys in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!